Today I'm cooking with you. It's true then when you say that I really think of everyone. Risotto with a mix of zucchini and frozen shrimp. Make this recipe with me. Because from a ready-made mix, we'll try to make a good and creamy risotto. Let's prepare it together. Before we start though, let's look at the ingredients. I'll give you the quantities for 4 people, then you can multiply or divide them according to your needs. But I'll tell you in advance, I'll be making it for 2 people. So if it looks like a small amount, if the mixture seems small, it's because the portion is actually for 2 people. First of all, 400 grams, 400 grams, 320 grams of carnaroli rice, 500 grams of frozen mix with zucchini and shrimp, 1 small onion or half depending on your taste, 40 grams of butter for creaming. At the end, a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a small clove of garlic, a piece of onion. Alternatively, instead of garlic and onion, a little bit of shallot would be fine, a nice bunch of parsley, a bit of lemon peel. Preferably, it doesn't have to look nice like this one, but it's better if it's organic, meaning untreated. A bit of white wine, and to finish, a little salt, and if you prefer, a bit of black pepper. So first of all, I finely chop the onion, okay, then I remove the core from a clove of garlic. I finely chop it, perfect. Now, for convenience, I also chop a bit of parsley. I was saying for convenience because clearly the parsley, as you'll see later, as you know, will be needed. In the end, though, I'm doing it now because, to be honest, while the rice is cooking, maybe I'll start washing a few things like the knife that I won't need anymore, the cutting board, and maybe a few other little things. If you want to achieve this, I always tell you, if you want to get nice parsley well chopped and not all mushy, not sticking together and turning into a sort of paste, more than chopped, make sure to wash it as soon as you buy it or pick it from the plant. I mention this nearly every time, so you must be used to it by now, yet you often ask me why. Is it because it gets really dusty? Someone wrote to me a few days ago saying it's dusty and everything always sticks to it. The trick is simple actually, there really isn't a trick. The truth is that very often you cut it when it's still wet, you chop it when it's still wet or when it's damp. So when you pick it or when you go to buy it, as soon as you bring it home, wash it under running water. Put it, here it is, you see, I'm not lying to you. Let it drain in a colander if you have time. And then, before putting it in a glass jar, dry it with some paper towels or by keeping it in a dish towel. If you don't have much time, do this. Put it in the salad spinner if you have one, the one for lettuce, and this way it will lose some water. Then, just to be sure, you can also pat it dry with some paper towels, and after that, you can cut it. Okay, now I put a bit of extra virgin olive oil in the pan, add the garlic and the onion. Please remember, when you do this, I always tell you, always use the back of the knife, whether the cutting board is wood or plastic. If you don't want to eat tiny pieces, micro pieces of wood or plastic, I add the anchovy and I let it brown over low heat. In the meantime, I also take the opportunity to crush and dissolve the anchovy in the oil. This way, even the pickiest ones won't even notice. By the way, you can find my 2 cookbooks only on Amazon worldwide. Just search for Carlo Gaiano and they'll arrive in at most 2 days. Okay, now I add the mixture with its broth and cook it for about 2 minutes on high heat. Now, in a small pan, I toast the rice dry, stirring it often just for a couple of minutes. Toasting is essential, I'm telling you quickly. What is it for? It's to seal the grains and make sure that in the end the risotto turns out much creamier. Now I add the rice to the zucchini and shrimp, adjust things a bit, and turn up the heat. After that, high heat, really high. I deglaze with white wine, keep it on high heat, and let it evaporate quickly. Don't worry if there are children at the table because the alcohol in the wine will completely evaporate. Okay, once the wine has evaporated, I add a few ladles of water or boiling vegetable broth. If you use vegetable broth, I recommend it should be nice and light, really light. It needs to be a proper vegetable broth, meaning rich in vegetables. If they give you carrots and onions, that's more than enough. It's light enough. Don't add too many vegetables. I add a little more, and once everything is in, I let it cook for about 15 minutes, adding more water or boiling broth only if needed. The secret to a good risotto is to add the broth or water little by little. So do as I do. Keep a small pot with hot water or broth on a small burner next to you and add it slowly only when needed. Okay, almost at the end of cooking, I adjust the salt. I give it one last stir, then I turn off the heat. I add the chilled butter. I start to stir it in. This is when the creaminess is created. Chilled butter and hot rice. This way, the thermal shock will help create that creamy texture. I add a bit of parsley. Always add the parsley at the end. If you add it while cooking, it becomes bitter. A little bit of pepper. A bit of grated lemon zest. Remember, as I said before, always use organic lemons if possible, meaning untreated lemons, even if they don't look perfect. Something like this is not a problem. And only take the yellow part, so when you do this, when you grate it, be very gentle. Please, the lemon shouldn't overpower, but just add fragrance. It pairs perfectly with the shrimp and gives it freshness. Okay, now I'll give it one last stir and bring it to the table. Here we go, a couple of taps to spread it out a bit, and a little more, just a little bit of lemon zest. All right, let's see. Fork or spoon? For risotto, I always use a fork, but let me know in the comments below. Oh my, you have to try it. I won't say anything else, just do it because it's really, really, really good. You won't even notice. Of course, yes, the shrimp are the small ones compared to the fresh shrimp, the nice big ones, not the jumbo shrimp, but the fresh small shrimp. At first glance, maybe you'll notice, but I guarantee you it's really, really good. Try it and let me know what you think in the comments below. For now, I'll say goodbye. And as usual, before I leave you, I want to take the opportunity to wish you a good meal. As for storing this dish, make sure to finish it all, use less rice, don't go overboard with the portions, and try to eat it all. If there really is some left over, you know I don't throw anything away, so maybe I'll make a sacrifice, eat a bit more, and then maybe finish it in the evening or later. If it's for dinner, I don't eat anything else. But if you really can't finish it, put it in an airtight container and keep it in the fridge for 2, at most 3 days. And then reheat it in the microwave or in a small pot, adding a little bit of water, preferably already hot.